Good afternoon, parents. I am Joy Antone, interim principal at Howard Middle School. And today we will be sharing information with you about the upcoming year. So, welcome to the 2021-2022 school year. We will begin with introductions to our leadership team.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Josephine Caproni. I am David T. Howard's new assistant principal working with our sixth grade.
Hi, everyone. I am Sarita Allen, the seventh grade assistant principal and assistant principal of curriculum instruction. So excited for this school year.
Good afternoon. I'm Geraldine Harper. I am the eighth grade assistant principal at David T. Howard Middle School.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Ann Head. I am the sixth grade Dean of Students and Restorative Practices Coach. Welcome to the new school year.
And great afternoon. I'm Marcus Smith. I'm the Dean of seventh grade students here at David T. Howard.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jesse Webb. I'm the eighth grade Dean of Students at David T. Howard.
Hi, everybody. My name is Chelsea Schultz. I am the sixth grade counselor at Howard Middle School.
Hi, everyone. My name is Janelle Todman. I'm the seventh grade counselor at Howard.
Hello, I'm Monique Martin, and I'm the eighth grade school counselor at Howard Middle School.
Hello, my name is Asha Hall Washington. I'm the special education lead teacher here at Howard Middle School.
Hello, my name is Tanisha Poe. I'm the instructional technology specialist, also known as the computer lady here at Howard Middle School.
Hi, everyone. It's Mr. Perry. I am the registrar for David T. Howard Middle School.
Good afternoon. I'm Coach Abernathy, the athletic director and over at Connections.
I think that's everyone. I do believe everyone has introduced themselves. And so we will go ahead and get started. And once again, welcome back to a new school year. Just a few things I would like to highlight before we move into more of our information is that we do have a PTO for all of our new parents. So make sure that you join our PTO. Information is on our school website as well as a foundation. Please make sure that you have information about our PTO and foundation, which is located on our website. And please reach out to us for any questions. I do also want to make you aware that we do have a family engagement leadership team, and we welcome ideas on how we can make sure that we have more family engagement for this upcoming year. And leading into that, something that was birthed from our family engagement leadership team is that we will have a parent RAM University this year throughout the year to make sure that we are sharing information and providing professional learning for our families, our parents, so that you can help support our students, your children at home, whether we are looking at electronic platforms or just other instructional items and things that are of interest to you where we can better serve you and our students. So please share any information with us if you have ideas in terms of any professional learning needs that you may have. We will continue our parent coffees this year on a monthly basis. Summer Bridge is coming up on Saturday, July 31st. Our open house, August 4th from 1 to 3. And the first day of school will be August 5th. We will resume our parent conferences. We will be sending out schedules for the year. So please do look forward to those as well. And so now we will go ahead and share some more detailed information with you about the upcoming school year. And you are on mute, Mr. Perry.
Hello, sorry about that. All righty. So registration, I know it can be a big headache sometimes, but I want to make it as simple as possible for you all. So sixth grade, you guys, you actually do have to do a registration in regards to providing documents. So that would be your lease, your deed and or mortgage statement, your Georgia power bill, which should be 30 days recent, and then a notarized affidavit. What is that sheet? Well, that you can find on Atlanta Public Schools, or you can come to the actual school, David T. Howard, and I can print that off for you, and we'll go ahead and get that notarized. All righty, 7th and 8th grade, it's a little more simpler for you. There's a simple form, a Google form that you would complete. As long as your information is the same as last year, you would simply fill that out and submit it. Now, if you're new or you're returning back to APS after leaving, you would have to do a full registration. No worries, it's not going to create a duplicate profile or anything. That's my job. I'll connect your old profile with the new one, but you would have to do a full registration. Now, of course, all of this can be done in person, via email, or online through Parent Portal for 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I can be reached at via email or by telephone. My email is kanan.perry@apsk12 or telephone 404-802-3206.
Good afternoon. I am going to share on this afternoon with you some minor changes to our schedule structure for the current school year. So as we have in the past, outside of COVID, Howard has always followed a snake schedule. So we will continue to follow a snake schedule, but only for our core classes. The two main changes this year will be the addition of a intervention and enrichment block, which is now a district mandate, as well as our connections classes will now change to an AB semester rotation as opposed to a quarter rotation as they have in the past. We will continue to use the color naming conventions, the rugby, red, green, blue, and yellow for our cores. And I have attached here kind of what a snake rotation looks like for you. So for those that are not familiar with a snake rotation or our brand new 6th grade parents, what we like to do is give our students an opportunity to learn during the day at the time that they learn the best. So in doing that, we snake our schedule so that students have morning classes in the afternoon classes in the morning, so that we can catch them at their optimal learning time. And so every day their classes change. What's their first period changes, what's their second period changes, and so forth. So what you see in this little diagram where you see red, green, blue, and yellow is kind of what our snake rotation will look like. Don't worry, parents. We spend a lot of time with students the first couple of days, making sure that they understand the snake schedule. But the very first week of school, which is really a Thursday and a Friday, our connections will be off rotation. So that Thursday will be an A day, and that Friday will actually be an B day. Then we will continue with the full rotation of connections the following full week. Our doors will open at 8:50. Students should not be on campus prior to that time unless they are in a scheduled tutorial with a teacher, and they will have to sign up ahead of time. And we begin our dismissal process at 4:15. We will transition to classes this year. We are using the 3 feet physical distancing is the new term, and we are requiring students to wear masks. 6th and 7th grade will continue to be on teams as they have in the past, 4 teams, and then 8th grade follows more of a high school schedule, so they are not on teams.
Hello again, everyone. This is Josephine Caproni. I am also the assistant principal managing our intervention and enrichment. And at David T. Howard, we call that Proficiency and Beyond, or P&B. Those of us who are returning, who were with us last year, know that we did something like this previously. And so we're building on what we've already been doing at a school. So last year, we decided that we really needed some additional time for students to learn to reach grade level proficiency. And that is still important to us. And it's also important to the district. We also want to make sure that our students who are already performing at proficiency have an opportunity to go beyond that and continue their learning in their areas of interest or areas of strength. All of our staff are involved with this. So our core teachers, our connections teachers, our support staff, it is all hands on deck for this time of our day. So we're taking what we did last year and we're improving on it even more. We've decided to build this into our school day, and this is a district initiative, so all schools are doing this now. So P&B will be starting at 9:15 on a daily basis, and will go till 10 o'clock. So we have 45 minutes for this enrichment or intervention time on a daily basis, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesdays will extend our advisement period to address SEL. This will be located on student schedules. So if your child is wondering, where do I need to be? Who is my teacher? It will be on their schedule. Don't worry. This year, the district has provided us with research-based intervention programs. The intervention programs that we'll be using are HMH Read 180 and HMH Math 180. And then we also have, through the same curricula development, System 44 for really intensive reading intervention. These are research-based programs that have shown that students can make as much as 1.5 years of growth in 1 year. So we're really excited to see what our students at Howard will do. We will be serving more students in intervention this year than we have in the past. And this is based on data that's coming from the district. They have identified for us which students will be in intervention. And we will also be using a new universal screener. So we will no longer be using STAR for our screener, and growth measurement. We'll be using NWEA MAP testing. That will begin on August 23rd. On August 23rd, we'll find out where our students are coming in now after the summer. And then we may make some adjustments to our intervention and enrichment groups based on that. So please do encourage your child to take that MAP growth assessment really seriously, do their best on it so that we can really see where they are and what support or enrichment they may need. It is our goal for this time to ensure that every student gets what they need to push them as far as we possibly can. And I encourage any families to reach out to me if you have any questions.
So I'll talk about breakfast and lunch. I'm Shonda Beatles, the business manager here. So in the mornings when the students get here, we will do a grab and go lunch. If you were here during the pandemic, the kids know that the breakfasts are sit when they come in, they pick them up, and then they go to their classrooms, their advisory class. We also will do lunch a little different. So because of the pandemic, we can only allow so many students in the cafeteria. And we will have lunches out for the kids because they're packaged in little aluminum, kind of like a to-go. We'll have those out for the kids, and the kids will sit every other seat in the cafeteria. There will be a set of students, if the weather is bad, that will have to remain in the rooms, only when the weather is bad, in the rooms, and they will not sit in the classroom. They can sit along the halls in our little nooks around the building on their floor. And on the days that it is beautiful outside, of course, kids have the opportunity to go outside and eat lunch. We also have an area under the media center, it's an awning that students will have the opportunity to also eat lunch in. So we want to make sure that lunch is as much as possible safe, as well as a time for children to socialize. Because with during lunchtime, they cannot sit, they're supposed to be 6 foot distance with their mask off and 3 foot distance with their mask on. So we want to give the kids plenty of ample opportunity to socialize while still being safe.
All right, so we're going to briefly talk about what supplies do you need for the first day of school and for the school year. Here you can see I've hyperlinked, and one of our fabulous team members who's running the chat, they'll copy this link and place it into the YouTube chat so that you can have that there. But it's pretty straightforward. If you go to this link, it will take you directly to each of our grade level supply lists for 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. Also any universal supplies that are needed for advisories or for connections as well as on there. As well as additional things that your child will want to bring as a water bottle every day. there are water refill stations. Obviously, you guys know that that's a part of one of our mitigation strategies through Atlanta Public Schools. And so there will not be a water fountain to use. And so we strongly encourage that students are bringing a water bottle every day. Obviously, they can bring their backpacks filled with their school supplies every day. And once they're assigned, we do ask them to bring their charged device every day. And I want to emphasize that we do need it charged. Unfortunately, we don't have enough outlets so that students can stay plugged up the entire time. So that is one responsibility we are asking of our students. Thanks, guys.
In terms of dress code, we do adhere to the APS dress code policy. And if you'll click on that link for me, Ms. Allen, in terms of the dress code, like I said, we do adhere by the APS dress code policy, but there are some things that we just want to clarify as it relates to our school. In terms of the dress code, sunglasses are not to be worn during school. In terms of pants or shorts, they must be modest, not to expose the buttocks. Shirts that expose the stomach or back are not permitted, and shoes must have a strap across the back of the heel. We do allow, jeans with holes in the knee and below, and even in the thigh, because we do have our students to wear gym shorts and things of that nature, and so we don't want to get into all of that. But we are going based on the latest dress code that was approved by our GO team, which adheres to the APS policy, but just fine tuning some things to make sure there is clarity around what we do allow and what's expected. We will post this link into the chat. Thank you, Ms. Allen, so that you will have that, and it will be posted to our website as well. If you have any specific questions, please reach out, please let us know, and we can address those as well.
Oh, so it's my turn. Digital Bridge, I'm so excited to say that we have brand new Chromebooks for every single one of our students this year. They will be HP touchscreen Chromebooks, and they're really great, robust devices. They're definitely sturdier than what we had in the past. And if your student took the GMAS in the spring, it's the same device. Of course, not the exact same device, but the same type of device. And when I quizzed the students or surveyed the students, they really liked them a lot more than they liked what they had before. Again, there's a device for every student. There will be a parent permission slip. It's electronic. I will send it out during the first couple of weeks of school. You must give your child permission in order for your child to be able to bring this machine home. However, they will not go home right away. In the past, we've given them out at an open house and in other times, but we're gonna not give out the machines until probably the second week or so of school. We want to get our students acclimated to being back in the building, to actually seeing faces, maybe get them away from the screen a little bit so they can learn how it is to interact with their peers in person again. And this year is going to be very important for me that we have a rich mix of tech and traditional learning experiences. Our students have spent a lot of time on Zoom and on the computers. We're going to make sure that they have opportunities to learn in various ways. And that is it right now for Digital Bridge.
Hi there, is Mrs. Head, 6th grade dean again. We would like to encourage all of our 6th grade parents to please join the 6th grade Remind. It is our means for communicating with you all. All you have to do is text at DTHMS6TH to 81010. So text at DTHMS6 to 81010. I am your 6th grade dean, Mrs. Ann Head. Our assistant principal for 6th grade, again, is Miss Josephine Caproni, and our counselor is Miss Chelsea Schultz. Thanks so much.
Great afternoon again. This is Mr. Smith, Dean of Students, Dean of 7th grade students. And just as Ms. Head stated, For the 7th grade, again, the only thing that'll change is the number change. So again, at DTHMS 7th to 81010. We definitely want you guys to join because there's a bunch of information that gets blasted out every day, and we don't want you to miss out on it. So we encourage you to go ahead and get on that remind today as soon as you can and pass the word to your peers. Again, I'm the Dean of 7th grade students. You have Miss Allen, our assistant principal for 7th grade, and Ms. Janelle Todman, our counselor. Thank you.
All right, guys, I am back, Mr. Webb, the Dean of Students of 8th grade. And it's very, very important that all 8th grade parents join our 8th grade Remind, because that's the way we distribute a ton of our information. All you have to do is text at DTHMS 8TH to 81010. Again, my name is Mr. Jesse Webb. I'm the 8th grade Dean of Students, and our assistant principal is Dr. Geraldine Harper. Our 8th grade counselor is Miss Monique Martin, and we are excited, very excited to see the students and the families here at David T. Howard.
Hello again. I am Asha Washington, the special education lead teacher. If you are new to Howard, then welcome to the family. If you're returning, we're so happy to have you back with us. Information as far as case manager and all of that is forthcoming. Case managers will be reaching out to families during the week of pre-planning. So we will hear from them by August 4th. Just kind of like an introduction and things of that nature so you are aware of who your student will have. We are also getting those accommodations and modifications out to the teachers to ensure that they have them for the start of school. I know that the counseling team and Dr. Harper are working very hard on the schedules. And so if you have any questions about that, I've included my email on here, so you can feel free to reach out to me. For all of our new parents, if we do request those IEPs from the previous schools, but if you have a copy of it, that would be very, very helpful if you could either email those to me or email them to Mr. Perry, so we can ensure that your students start the year in the correct placement. Any other questions, feel free to email me or call me at the school.
And I have just a few academic updates that sometimes we get frequent questions about. One of them is about if you are a rising 6th grader in accelerated math. We do want to make sure that we clarify that this is something the district is managing for us. So they have collected the data from the schools. They have identified who becomes eligible. But given the unique circumstances of last year, that they will not finalize those lists until after we administer MAP. And so you could expect the date to have the finalized list around September 1. So again, just wanted to let you know that information. Also, if you are new to Howard, and that could be 6th, 7th, or 8th, you may have questions around gifted. And so if your child has a in-state, so within Georgia, gifted tag already, then they will be gifted here at Howard as well. And for all of our students who are tag gifted, they receive 2 core gifted classes. And if your child is not yet gifted, but it is something that you're interested in learning more about, around the early week of September, you want to go to our website. There'll be a note that lets you know that you can request testing. But I want to clarify, because students do go through testing for gifted. I do want to clarify that students do have to meet an eligibility requirement to be tested. And so you may request it, but we will follow up to tell you a little bit about data about your student to let you know if your child will be eligible for that testing. So thanks, wanted to share a little bit of that.
I'll take this one if no one else is there. This is just a reminder that we are day one ready. We're ready to return and learn. I don't know about you all, but I'm so excited to actually see students in person all the time. Can't wait to see them in the hallway. Our district has a website. If you go to the APS website, and I'll be sure to put the link in here later, that is completely dedicated to back to school information. If you go there, it has the new bell schedules for each of the grade levels. I'm sorry, each school level. It has the information for the health screener that you'll hear about in just a little while, but most importantly, it also has information about nutrition and transportation. It's very important to us that your child receives lunch and that they make it to and from school safely. So please, if you're not aware or you have questions, please go to our APS website that is dedicated to being day one ready as we return to learn. Thank you. Summer Bridge. Before I go into Summer Bridge, I do want to mention there's a question in the chat that is very important. It's about the Chromebooks and restrictions. I know we had a lot of issues. One of the reasons why we're going to Chromebooks is because the students will not be able to download games and anything along those lines like they could when they had PCs. Another reason we're going to Chromebooks is so that we can manage them. As at the school level, I know some of you in the past have asked me if I could block certain sites, and I will say I can't do that myself, but I will ask. And sometimes that takes a long time. Now we're in a position where we can control things here at school, but parents are also going to have the option to control their students' devices at home as well. You can put certain time limits on the devices. You can restrict certain sites. We use YouTube at school, but maybe you don't want to use YouTube at home. You can block that at home. And so there are definitely a lot more options that we have this year with the new devices that I think you guys will like. So back to the slide at hand. Summer Bridge. This has been another question. Summer Bridge is strictly a 2-hour orientation to the building. The idea of Summer Bridge, if your child is like mine and gets nervous when it's a new situation, a new building, new people, and that's like that for everyone because we've been away for so long, they can come and get to know our building. It's for all grade levels this year. And the past Bridge has only been a 6th grade thing, but our 7th and 8th graders, some of them don't know the building either. So Summer Bridge will be open to all students between the hours of 10 and 12 noon. There was a sign-in sheet. And it's just going to give your child a tour of the building, a brief introduction to Howard and some of our expectations, which stairwell to go down to get to the cafeteria, things like that. Things that you can't normally get during open house because open house is so busy and so fast. This is also a great way for your child to meet other students in their grade level, to kind of get them back used to being in the building and to give them a little bit more security and to alleviate some of the anxiety that I believe a lot of our students are feeling about going back into the building after some of them being out for a year and a half.
Also, it is strictly optional. No, you do not have to attend, and it is for students only. Students will be dropped off at 10 and picked up at noon. And during the time they're here, there are scheduled activities for them to participate in while they're in the building. They'll be assigned to a specific room with a teacher, and then they will go through a list of activities just to help them get acclimated to the building.
All right, guys, Ms. Antone shared some of this information earlier, but our open house, it is going to be the second opportunity. So again, they just mentioned your first opportunity, which is July 31st, this Saturday, to come visit the school. But your second opportunity before the first day of school is August 4th from 1 to 3. It's our open house. It's going to be a great time to come and meet your teachers and see your classrooms. Mr. Perry will be on site to help with registration. If you don't have your Infinite Campus credentials, which is very important to stay on top of your students and have those great conversations about how they're progressing through their classes, Parent Portal, you'll get some support with that if you need it. You can learn about Health Check, which is how APS is going to, we're going to talk about mitigation strategies, but it's a health monitoring app in regards to COVID, trying to keep everybody safe this year. And then just so that you know, if you're coming, you may park at the King Center for overflow parking. That is just 1 block away, all right? Thanks.
Okay, so lockers are on sale now on the website. If you go to, let me look, I think it's student activities. There's a link for lockers. Please make sure you include the correct grade in which your student is enrolled. It is $5 for the year, and the district has mandated with mitigation strategies that we cannot share lockers at this time. So if you have any questions about lockers, you can email me, or you can go straight to the website. Oh, okay. I have arrival and dismissal. I apologize. So students will not be allowed to enter the building before 8:50 a.m. unless they have assigned tutorial. And assigned tutorial will know the day before. It cannot be a drop-off tutorial in the morning. It has to be scheduled. And walkers and car riders are expected to enter the building in the front of the building on Dobbs. The back of the building is saved for students that ride the bus or ride the bikes or come off of, if they're walking and come off the belt line, or if parents decide to drop their kids off on Randolph so that they don't have to wait in the long line in the mornings, then the kids will enter from the back through the cafeteria. All students are expected to be off campus by 4:25 unless they have tutorial or they're with a faculty or staff member for clubs or some type of after-school activity.
The carpool waiting lane. This is for the arrival and dismissal of students. The carpool lane will open up at 4 p.m. in the afternoon for you to line up to start picking up your children. In the mornings, please make sure that your kids are fully prepared when your car comes to a complete stop for them to get out. There's limited space in the carpool lane, so we want to keep the traffic flow moving. So, and when you come, we would prefer that you use Randolph Street or Irwin Street to line up. Please wait at the stop sign on Howell Street if the parking lot, if the carpool lane is full, and wait for an officer to direct you to turn into the school lane. You also have access from Magruder Street. You can get there from Sampson. That is an alternate drop-off point. The yellow dots that you see are indications where an officer or a crossing guard will be to assist you with anything that you need and to assist kids crossing across the street.
In terms of transportation, I know that many of our parents have been waiting on transportation information. The web query stop locator tool is supposed to go live this Friday on July 30th. It should be available on the APS website. The stop information for postcards go to the student address in Infinite Campus. So it will be important that all student addresses are up to date in Infinite Campus. Those postcards should be sent out by July 30th, between July 30th and August 2nd from transportation. And so if you're looking for transportation information, hopefully that information will be updated, like we said, pretty soon for you. If you have any questions about that, let us know, but transportation pretty much do answer all of those questions.
So I'll start with the mitigation strategies that we are currently using from the district. So we do have a mask mandate, and schools have to implement a layer of preventive strategies and should prioritize the universal and correct use of masks and physical distancing. There is a health screener, it's called Health Check, that every parent is expected to utilize each day before their child comes to school. We will not do the temperature checks, so it is expected that each parent will download Health Check or go on the internet and use Health Check to go through the series of questions to allow their student to come to school that morning. If, let's say, we forget, then there will be someone to call you during that morning time to make sure that we get the health check screening done. There is surveillance testing still offered once a week, and they are beginning to have vaccinations on site. So if you would like for your student to be vaccinated, we will definitely have vaccinations on site. I already talked about how the cafeteria will be used at half capacity for lunch. And between each class, the desk will be sanitized. So when your child enters the classroom, they'll use the sanitizer on the wall for their hands. And before they leave, we'll sanitize the desk and then sanitize our hands as we leave as well. We will still not be able to drink out of the water fountain. So it's important for students to bring water bottles because we have water filling stations throughout the building. We also have sanitizing stations in each classroom, and there are also sanitizing stations around the building, like in the cafeteria or in the gym. So masks are required for all students, staff, and anyone that comes into the building. As long as we're outside, we don't have a mask. You don't have to wear a mask, but inside, we do have a mask mandate, and that is a district mandate, not a David T. Howard individual school mandate. It is important because there are some sixth graders who are not of age to be vaccinated. So in order to keep all students and staff safe, and there are some staff that are not vaccinated as well, in order to keep all students and staff safe, we have to have masks. We do, in the event of a positive COVID case, we do have mitigation strategies in which we have to do contact tracing. If your child is vaccinated and does not show symptoms, if there's a positive COVID case in their class, they do not have to quarantine. The only way we have to do the quarantines is if it is a student that's unvaccinated or staff that's unvaccinated, or they show symptoms of any COVID symptoms, the cough, the runny nose, any of those, then we'd have to issue quarantine. Quarantine is still the same. You can, quarantine is 10 days without testing, 7 days. If you want to go have a COVID test, but the COVID test must be made after the 5th day of when you first realized, or when we first called you and told you that there was a positive COVID case.
Ms. Biddles, before we move forward, will you talk about the health checks that parents will be sharing their information about the health checks?
So we have the health checks also on the website, but health check is an app, and you have to, once you submit the health, once you go on the health check app, there's a code you use for each grade level. It's A1563-06 for 6th graders, A1563-07 for 7th graders, and A1563-08 for 8th graders. And it is on the website. And I'll also try to put it in the YouTube chat for all parents as well. So yearbooks they are not here yet. We expect yearbooks to come right before open house, and there will be a table at open house where yearbooks will be given out. Now, I'm not sure if they ordered extra yearbooks, but if so, you can purchase extra yearbooks from PTO during open house.
All right, so we do want to make sure we address all of our questions that we have in the chat. So if someone can make sure we have that up and available.
We have some.
Okay, we have questions about surveillance testing. So once the year begins, there'll be a form that's sent home with the student so that we can get parent permission for surveillance testing, and then it will only be that one time, and then we'll be able to do that surveillance testing weekly. Also, there was a question about Level Up. If the students attended the Level Up program this summer, will they automatically be updated? And so were we able to address that question?
We did, I believe, Ms. Washington.
Yes, I addressed it in the chat.
Okay. Do you have any other questions that we see there, Ms. Poe?
Yes, it is. What is the school option if a student is quarantined? Last year, they could just join virtually, but there is not a virtual option for Howard this year.
Yes. So with quarantine, when the student is out due to quarantine, we do have to work with that student and the teacher to make sure that they still do get that work. Of course, they can't be penalized, and we are also waiting to hear more information on what that quarantine will look like as it relates to our students, our staff, and especially if we have multiple students and staff that have to quarantine at once. So we are still receiving information on how to proceed with that, but rest assured students will not be penalized, and we will make sure that the student does get the opportunity to get that work. Any other questions, Ms. Poe?
There is one question about the health check app. So yes, it has to be done every single day so that we know that you've gone and checked your child for any of the COVID symptoms and to make sure that everybody is safe. We no longer do temperature checks at the building. So the district has purchased the health check app in order for parents to kind of give us a surveillance testing about how their kids have done overnight.
We can post a step-by-step, some step-by-step instructions in terms of how to operate the health checks for those who have not used that before as well, and post it to our website.
And there's a question about how surveillance testing works. So we have a company that comes out to the building, and if you have signed for your child to participate in surveillance testing, they come down to the media center and they do a nasal swab. It's not the evasive nasal swab. It's just a quick nasal swab. And if anyone comes positive, then we are notified, and then we begin our mitigation strategies for any positive case. No news is good news. So if the kids don't hear from us, then that means that they have tested negative for COVID.
There is a question about, will there be before or after care this year?
Okay. Yes, we're still trying to receive information about before and after care. As soon as we receive that information, we will share that as soon as possible.
It asks, do we submit COVID vaccinations? If your child has been vaccinated, it is on their immunization chart. And so we have access to all students' immunizations, so we can look it up to see if your child has been vaccinated.
One of the questions is, will they have physical books to carry around, or are there ebooks? There's a bit of a mix if that content, so for example, Amplify Math and ELA use a platform called Amplify, but they have workbooks. So obviously they're going to be much thinner than the textbooks that you guys are used to seeing. And then I think potentially during the intervention, they also have some very, very thin journals. So we don't expect there to be a lot that students have to carry around, but we do expect students to also write, to physically write as well, and that everything will not be in a digital learning resource.
And the question about quarantine, we know that there are some mitigation measures that were sent out just the end of last week, but just want to make sure that everyone knows that we are still awaiting guidance from our district in terms of how to handle quarantining when we have students out, especially if there has to be a class. So we are awaiting that information, and as soon as we receive that, we will know exactly what direction to head in with that, and if your child is impacted by that situation as we move into the year, we will definitely reach out to you with that information.
There are several questions about, are lockers mandatory? No, they are not. That is strictly for your students to put their belongings into a safe space. They can't leave their book bags in classrooms, in teachers' classrooms. And so that's why the lockers are provided. So no, you do not have to purchase a locker for your child.
If I may add on to that, Ms. Beatles, it is also true though that they aren't allowed to bring the book bags into the classroom. So again, you don't have to have a locker, but if they're carrying a book bag, they cannot bring the book bag into the classroom.
And Ms. Neal just answered in the chat a reminder that there will be assistance for people who need it when it comes to lockers.
There's also a question about how quickly do the results of the surveillance testing come?
So surveillance testing, I know it takes the company maybe 5 minutes. And if there is a positive case, they immediately come get me and we start our contact tracing. It is not the PCR test. It is just a quick nasal swab to see if they have COVID symptoms and could possibly test positive for COVID.
There was also a question about the summer bridge again. For the people who came late, summer bridge is completely optional. It is just an orientation to the building for students only, just to get the students comfortable with navigating the building. But again, it is optional, and it is Saturday, July 31st, between the hours of 10 and 12. Drop off for the students is at 12, and then at 10, and then pick up at 12.
I do see a question about the health check app. So we will post some step-by-step instructions onto our website so that you can have the information needed.
I was trying to put up what it looks like. It's a light blue screen with a white heart with the little kind of the check marks of a heartbeat in it. And it says health check.
And actually, if we go back to the slide with day one ready, the return plus learn, I believe the logo was actually on that slide as well. But if you go to the Atlanta Public Schools website and you click on day one, return to learn, oh no, that's not the picture. But there are supposed to be instructions under health as well. Apologize for that. I thought it was the correct logo. But we will make sure, as they said, that all of the information that you need is given to you as soon as possible.
And the purpose of students not traveling with book bags is basically due to safety, because anything could be, in the bags, and we have to make sure that we look out for all of our students and the safety of our students and staff. And so the book bags, traveling around with those, it is a safety issue, which is why we do not travel with those bags.
And as far as the question about the percentage of Howard staff vaccinated, or what about the eligible student population, we are unable to share details about vaccination for staff members or for students.
So at open house, as well as one of the questions was, how do we get IC login? You would see Ms. Granderson, and she will have a table at open house in which you can go see her to receive your IC login.
And there is a link to the dress code on the website.
I think we also dropped the link into the chat as well. We can do that again. All right, any other questions? We want to make sure we have a few minutes that we address any and all questions that you have.
The last one I see is, when will kids get their locker codes? If they come to Summer Bridge, we'll have them then. If not, we'll have them at open house. If they don't come to open house, they'll have them the first day of school from their advisory teacher.
for you to access the locker link if they're at home?
I placed the locker link in the chat. It is also on the website under School Life. And then under School Life, it'll say school fees. And then you click that link and all of any school fees for our entire school will show up on that link.
I'm sorry.
I did see a question regarding when students will be able to see their schedules. The district will open parent portal on July the 29th, so schedules should be visible at that time.
And the other question is about school lunch. In the past, lunch has been free for all. Is that the same case this year, or will parents have to pay and need a code?
So we have not received any information from the district on whether all school lunches are free this year like they were last year. As soon as we receive that information, I will definitely let the parents know, either by remind or email.
Can we show the SNAKE schedule again? I think parents just want to see the times.
They're asking for the time, the scheduled times, Dr. Harper, like core 1, core 2, core 3, with a class time.
Yeah, I don't have that right now. I can pull it up. Give me just a second.
And there's another question about when will fall athletics or club schedules be available?
I was just answering that in the chat. The school website will be our official location where we will display all fall club sports and APS athletic sports schedule. So we're currently working on completing all of those, and once we have those available, it will be located on the school website.
Thank you, Coach Abernathy.
Okay, can you remind me, was that the 8th grade schedule?
They wanted
Yes,
to know the
parent that
exact
asked
times.
was specifically an 8th grade parent. He asked for the 8th grade class times.
Okay, so the first core is 10:05 to 11:05. Second core is 11:10 to 12:40. Connections is 12:45 to 2 o'clock. Third core is 2:05 to 3:05. And the last core is 3:10 to 4:15.
If we don't have any additional questions, we will end at this time. My information is at the end in terms of email. You can reach out to us if you have additional questions. We'll be more than happy to address those. We will also make sure that there will be a step-by-step instructions for how to get to the how to actually use the health check app, so that we can be equipped with that before school starts, as well as the dress code. Everything should be found on our school website. And like I said, if you have any additional questions, please reach out to us and let us know. But we do thank you for joining us today. And we look forward to a great 2021-2022 school year, and enjoy the rest of your day.